Welcome back to AM Buffalo. Well, when a loved one starts showing signs of memory disease like dementia or Alzheimer's, we don't often act right away. But experts say making a move earlier rather than later might make this difficult transition easier for everyone. Thank you so much to Mimi Pichullo for being on AM Buffalo again to talk to us about some really important information for families.
Thanks so much, Emily.
It is very difficult when you start to see the signs that there might be memory disease involved here. What should families, first off, be on the lookout for?
Well, check the medications. Are they taking the medications as they should? Are they eating the foods in the fridge? Is there expired food in the fridge? Is their hygiene changing? Like somebody who is normally very, fastidious about their own personal appearance, suddenly not seeming so clean, maybe smell some odors. Maybe the house isn't kept as well as it used to be. So those are all pretty telltale markers that they're not able to manage anymore.
One thing is to spot that there might be a problem, but another is to actually act upon it because it can be very difficult. So what's the next step?
I would say probably a good first step is to take to a doctor or a neurologist and just get a cognitive assessment done just to get a baseline of where they're at. Maybe there's been some med errors and that's causing some confusion that could maybe be fixed with just adjusting that. Maybe there's something medically going on, but maybe it is the beginning of dementia. And then there are a couple medications that sometimes are, can slow the progress down a little bit, or maybe they really need some extra support to be able to safely manage.
The next step's a big one, deciding whether or not they need to be in a facility that can provide for their specific needs.
Yeah, it's so hard for them to even start thinking and contemplating that. The situation has gotten pretty rough for them when they do it. And families frequently are just exhausted trying to manage their own lives, may still be working, maybe caring for grandchildren or their own children, and then trying to manage two households and the needs of a senior who's starting to decline. It's always best to make this transition into assisted living or memory care earlier than later. And families are usually resistant to that. And I get it, because it's hard to force someone you love to move from their beloved home into congregate living. But the earlier they get there, the faster their adjustment, and it becomes their new normal, because usually they are very lonely and isolated, and family can visit, but you don't really fill that social need that we had when like when we're younger and we can get out and drive and go do things. Now they can't, and they're really lonely. And that's a beautiful thing of assisted living, is that we fill that gap. And so they get to do interesting things. They're back with people their age, they're having fun, there's nice staff taking care of them. So if we can get them into here early and into a normal routine, and their day is pretty set, the same every day, but filled with interesting things, but the people around them are the same, and how we move throughout the day is the same. That's quite comforting for somebody who's got dementia.
I can imagine. Besides having a really great community, what other boxes should families be ticking off when it comes to choosing the right facility for their family?
For us, I think it's key is our design. We only do one thing. We care for those with dementia. So we've got this beautiful open concept. Once you're through the main doors, we're in a big secure facility where those who really like to walk and wander and move, they have plenty of space to do that here. It's beautiful because we only do memory care. Our staff are well experienced with getting somebody who's more confused, sometimes will be more resistive to care. And so our staff is used to that because that's what we do. That's what we do best, is care for that kind of resident. Really loving community, not only for the residents, but for each other. Like, we have fun together caring for these residents. So you can feel it when you enter a community, you usually can feel that vibe. And this community has that vibe.
Well, that's awesome. I love to hear that. And I'm sure a lot of folks out there love to hear that too. Thank you so much, Mimi, for this. This has been great.
Thanks so much, Emily. We'd love to be able to help families and show them around.
If you have any questions or would like to schedule a trial stay, we were told that all you need to do is give the folks at Juniper Glen a call. Their number is right there on the screen. It's 716-902-3361.